Guess what we have here? Dayi 7542, the reference of all Sheng Pu'er, and we are going to taste it now. Hi guys, this is Gabriele and this is Caroline.
Hi.
From nannuoshan, where we share the pleasure of drinking and discovering genuine farm tea. If you're also looking to expand your tea knowledge and brewing skills, make sure to click on the subscribe button and don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you enjoy watching the video. Today we have a Dayi 7542. This is kind of the reference, the benchmark of all Sheng Pu'er. If there is one Sheng Pu'er that is the most famous among all of those out there, then it's this one. And Caroline, you have got this as a present, right?
Exactly, yes.
From?
So from a Chinese colleague of mine. So I got it, just at the beginning of the year. So it was a long wait until I was finally able to taste this because, Gabriele wanted to do a video about it.
Yeah, I wanted to do a video about it with Brian, actually, that I agreed. We have done a lot of Pu'erh video together, and it would have been nice to taste also this one. But because of COVID-19, we never managed to meet again, and I've barely been in Denver. And so at the end, I surrender and I say, okay, Caroline, let's do this video together. And so we try, we start tasting this video together. And it's a nice, tiny, a little bit, let's say thick, round almost. I mean, round not only in this sense, but it's really thick. 150 gram Pu'erh cake. I say it is the 7542. This is from 2013. Yes, so it's 7 years old. It was harvested on the 10th of April. And according to the code that is written here, it means also that it was the first batch of that year. So, Caroline, do you remember actually what the 4 digits mean?
So I think the 2 first digits are a sort of recipe, the year they developed the recipe.
Yeah, because at that time there were not this fashion of going for single garden tea or single tree. It was always that Pu'erh were a recipe mixing different sources. So 75 is 1975. What about the 4?
So the 4 is the size of the leaves. And the leaves, I think it goes from 1 to 9. I can't remember.
Yeah, it goes from 0 to 9.
0.
And 9 is the very large. 1 is the very, so 0 is the very little. So 4 is kind of in between. And the number 2?
It's the factory.
Very good. There is the Dayi factory, the Menghai tea factory is the second tea factory. Number 1 would be Kunming, which is Zhongcha today, and number 3 would be Xiaguan in the north of Yunnan. So, Caroline, do you mind taking the Pu'erh needle that I forgot so that you can break the cake, please? And in the meanwhile, I will show, I'm boiling the water and I will show you the cake. So that's how it looks like. Let's bring it closer to the camera so that you can have a look. It's fairly dark actually for being a cake from 7 years of age. I don't know exactly where it was stored. Do you know when she bought it?
No clue.
No information.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem to be stored in a cool place actually. It smells very. Smell this, Caroline. It smells to me very spicy. It's kind of when, I mean, of course there's this typical Pu'erh smell, but it's like when I enter in a spicy shop a little bit. So very aromatic.
So it's really Pu'erh smell, yeah, a bit of spice, a bit of woody spice, I would say, yeah, something like that. So nothing really like crazy spicy either, like no cinnamon.
No, not. It's not like not like Indian spices.
Yeah.
It's just, you know. Oh, I forgot to turn on here the scale. Just normal spices, but very pleasant. I like when the Pu'erh are so aromatic. So And there are quite also a fair amount of buds in the cake. So this is a factory cake. It's the largest, probably the largest tea factory of one of the largest. Nonetheless, they have a lot of experience in mixing up the leaves. They are famous for that because they usually, this we say is the first batch, because after the 4 digit there are other 2 that are written here on the bag. Here is 301. The 3 is because it's from 2013, and the 01 because it's the first batch, which is means it is the first batch in spring, and it was the 4th of April, which is fairly late for Yunnan. So they are famous from the Menghai tea factory for collecting actually leaves a little bit later in the season, but they know where to go and they have good contacts. Okay, I'm taking here about 5 grams of leaves. Here we go, 5.6 actually. And let's put this aside and let's give it a wash. And let's see if it really tastes as a benchmark for Sheng Pu'er should taste. So we would expect here to have, like every good reference, a good representative that does not excess in any direction, I would say. 7 years old, factory tea. Let's give it a wash. Caroline, which cups do you want? Which cup do you want?
I'll take this one.
The red one? Okay. Take the black one. So a little bit for you, a little bit for the Buddha, a little bit for me. We were able to buy those Buddha again, by the way. I know that some of you have asked. They are not yet on stock, but they will soon. Very spicy, yeah, which is not the most common smell from Sichuan, from the south of Yunnan. I would associate this type of smell more with Linzang, a little bit farther north. Shall I wait a little? Yeah. And last time I tasted the 7542 was long ago in China. I think actually it was in Sichuan, which is strange, like for such a reference. But nowadays there is so much offer with Pu'erh that is hard even to find the time to drink a benchmark. Have you tasted already? Roti. I had a really heavy lunch today. I've had a huge amount of pasta actually, because I had to finish the sauce. So a huge amount of pasta with pepper. And then I did almost half a kilo of chicken fillet, garnished with gorgonzola cheese and prosciutto. So it was really heavy, and I was really looking forward to this Pu'erh. So, which are your thoughts? How does it taste? What do you think about it?
So maybe we can steep it a bit stronger the second time.
Okay.
Seems light so far.
You know, I steep light. Kind of like it actually. Is less spicy in the taste than it is in the cup, and is more woody to me.
So it's no Pu'erh who has like a lot of bitterness, so it seems pretty balanced.
Oh yeah,
it's quite nice.
And let's see with the longer steep what comes out. So it's definitely, according to what bitterness, yeah, is little, so very balanced. It has this woody taste, and it's not extremely clean in the sense. Also, if I look at the infusion, it's like more oily, grassy, with quite some particles that are floating around actually.
But it's still okay to drink, so it's not astringent in any way.
No.
It's actually, I think, a bit sweet towards the end, so it's it stays also nicely in the mouth at the end, so a bit of regan, bit so
it's thick. Yeah, this is the word I was searching. Is not you see it also. Okay, now I didn't use a strainer, but still it's fairly dark, oily, viscose in a way. And pleasant, yeah. Usually the tea is quite affordable actually, so it's not an expensive wine, no, it's a reference, they produce a lot out of it. It very much of course depends on the year and even more on the batch. So like, we don't know if I think is a she got it recently or she had it already at home because she's Chinese, she might have had it. 7 years old, buying it now wouldn't be that cheap, and in particular this is the first batch of the season, so in early spring, and they would continue producing this batch probably over the summer. So for a first batch of 7 years old, you got a good cake there, so you can thank your colleague. She treat you well. What do you think about the taste? It's more intense.
Yes, a bit more intense, but still very balanced. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. For me, it starts to be a little bit drying, a little bit the mouth, but it's also because maybe the steeping is for me a bit longer than I would have done. Maybe it's more to your taste.
Yeah. That's true. But it's not like it's a very young fresh pu'er, or you can notice it had already a bit aged, so it's not maybe as aggressive. So it's starting to develop to become a bit smoother. So
yeah. It might be that actually years ago it was more aggressive, because I mean Menghai, if they want to have a reference for Menghai, it should be a little bit aggressive, and over the years maybe has been sweetening down. And actually I would like to have a look, I will use this time the strainer, I would like to have a look at the leaves to see if we can recognize that they are actually coming from different places. They usually are leaves from Sichuan, so all around and about Menghai. It could even be from nannuoshan. I've read somewhere that actually they use also nannuoshan material for this cake, which is probably 20-30 kilometers away from the factory, something like that. I still will continue. Yeah, let's have a look at the leaves. It's hard, of course, to show them to you, but maybe let's try with this trick. Very dark green. It looks, it's all matching, like the color of the brew of the liquor is similar to the color of the leaves. Yeah, this brownish color. A little bit broken, but also because I broke actually the cake. And it's hard to tell. Actually, they are, from the consistency, they are relatively soft, the leaves, so you can tell they were not very large leaves. That will get more of a leather consistency. Not a lot of stems, which is also, I mean, here I have one, which is quite hard actually, but not a lot of stems. And now here actually I don't see buds, but I saw them in the pincha, maybe here one that is just opening. Yeah, so This is a whole leaf, or it seems so. Let's see if this is the case, if I can open it without breaking. And you see that they are really, this is really small and tender. So it's a mix of very small leaves and leaves that are a little bit larger, like about 4 centimeters in length, but definitely not the large leaves that would be more or less this size. How it is the third?
Yeah, good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You get more maybe of a bit of the sweetness.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't really
Slight
turn
fruitiness.
bitter, eh?
No, not at all. Yeah, it's really.
Did a really good job. Materials in this region can easily be very bitter. I mean, we say it's 7 years, but nonetheless, I wonder where it was stored, but I'm not sure we will ever know it. It's definitely a dry storage, nothing wet and moldy in it. We say there is some wood, but it's not wet wood, it's not earthy yet. Yeah.
There's actually more minerality to it, I would say. Yeah. Than earthiness, yeah.
Yeah. A little bit muddy. Feels good. It feels to me that it really helps digestion, actually. I really need it. I was really heavy. I won't have dinner today.
No.
Was too much. I did another video in the morning and then I was running late, and so I ate late. Starts making me sweating. You? No?
It's still, yeah, it's true. It makes you feel a bit warmer inside, yeah.
Let's go for a last tip and maybe we push it a little bit. I want to see if we can get out some bitterness because I am a little bit surprised. Like I would expect that Menghai takes as a reference also some bitterness in it since it is so typical from that region, this strength.
But I mean, it's not a like 1 or 2 year old tea. It's already
it's 7
years,
yeah,
so you can expect the bitterness to
fade out, maybe.
Yeah.
It can well be. What do you think about the florality, fruity, nuttiness, vegetables?
Yeah. I mean, it maybe has some floral fruity notes, I would say. Yeah, because you could still feel it afterwards, and it stays nicely and in the mouth. Yeah.
For me, it's more fruity than floral.
Yeah.
And somewhat like it's not like berries or stuff like that. Maybe there is some a tiny bit of tropical fruits, maybe tiny bit. It's hard to say.
Like more like something peachy or
yellow
tropical
fruit.
These types of fruits, I would say.
Yeah.
And maybe a sort of white or yellow flower or something. Yes, like a slight bit.
You're also making your recipe with.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, it's the fourth tea. We steep it a bit longer. We have almost 6 grams.
Pretty stable.
Stays pretty stable.
It's really stable. So I think it's really a very balanced, stable tea. You can guess like they mix things to make it that way.
And you would expect also more of a change over the steepings, right? We had the first one was shorter, then was one long, one short, one long. And it seems like you cannot do anything wrong with the tea. So I would say it is a good tea also for beginners that are approaching Pu'erh. That, Pu'erh is a bit tricky to steep and you don't know how, because you cannot do much wrong in here, yeah?
Yeah, it's probably really a good reference because Pu'erhs can really go like in really funky directions.
And you don't like when it is very fresh, right?
So there were, I don't know, there's really different types. So there's really very fruity types, there's very bitter types, there's types that tastes like menthol, so really strongly, and I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
So there's really everything, and then if they age a bit, it's also totally different. So yeah.
So you like this one?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I still prefer. Well, my favorite will remain this Bingdao because for me it's like drinking dried apricots, and it's really nice.
That's right. This is a Pu'erh cake. The Bingdao, by the way, is also 2013. Yeah, same here. And it is a cake where you can more easily or associate it with a specific fruit. Yeah. Than this. Like here, you say, for me, it's clear it's fruit, it's not floral, but which fruits? I mean, it's hard to say, right? Ananas, not because ananas is too sweet. Peaches, maybe it goes a bit in that direction. Maybe some lychee, also not because it's too sweet. It's hard to to spot it. You can rather say what is not than what it is.
Yeah.
But with that one, you have these dry peaches, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Dried peaches. There's also really a certain woodiness to it.
But less pronounced than this one. This is, to me, is also cleaner. This is a little bit rougher.
Because now you start to feel a bit of astringency, like after drinking it several times. So, and it's already 7-year-old, and it's still, you can feel it. So I can guess that how it was at the beginning. It must have been really.
And if you want, to invest in Pu'erh, you don't know where to start. That's a good start, because if you buy a very buy the 7542 of this year, it won't be expensive. Buy a few tons if you really are into it and see how it ages, and start with that. Yeah, and you have a tea that will age well. And you don't have to spend money on something that you know how it evolves. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this sharing with you. Yeah. And we will definitely see you in the next video. Let's see if we will be a Pu'erh together or something else. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and go ahead, give us a thumbs up if you have liked this video. Thank you very much, and bye bye.
Bye bye.